Welcome back to Insight Indonesia, brought to you by the Jakarta Globe. Today we're talking with Kuntoro Mangkusubroto about infrastructure and now about carbon trading and the RED program. I don't know how one man could have such a big job. You're Jakarta, infrastructure, and RED. You're also in charge of the RED task force. There's been some frustration, as you know, expressed by environmentalists anyway, who feel like it hasn't gone fast enough, the carbon trading program. Where does it stand? How should our viewers be looking at this?
Well, this program, the RED Plus program, is basically a new program for Indonesia and other countries, basically. It's a new paradigm. And if a number of people are frustrated with the progress, I can understand that. Even me, I feel frustrated with that, okay? But we have to understand that there's a number of laws and regulation regulating this forest and other issues in relation with carbon and kind of things, okay? And basically, they are not in line with this new paradigm. Okay. The old paradigm is you cut trees and you get revenue.
Yeah, sure.
That's the old paradigm.
Of course.
And all infrastructure, institutions, regulations, law, are the one who were established to support that paradigm.
Really, to make it easy to cut the logs down and get them out to get them out to market. That's what.
That's right.
That's what it was all about.
And up to now, you still can still that.
And to be fair to Indonesia, not just here.
That's right.
This was in Malaysia and the Philippines, which has no forests left.
That's true.
Thailand and everywhere else.
Yeah. So now we have to change it. You get revenue, but keep the tree standing. And sudden, you find out that there's so many regulations that's not in line with this new paradigm. Now we have to do that, okay? And now we are doing that. So when you ask about if you ask about the RED Plus program in Indonesia, well, this is a new program. We are now in the preparation stage, okay? The president established a RED Plus task force. I'm the head of that task force. And we have 10 working group in it, okay? The 10 working group start from the national strategy. Now you can see that. Even with the national strategy, we have to start it now, okay? We don't have any national strategy for RED Plus before. Now we're doing it. We are about to finalize it, okay? Now it's really finalized, okay? We are now preparing the institution, okay? The agency. You cannot live with the task force or the Satgas forever, okay?
Right.
There will be an end of it.
The Satgas has been extended twice. Once, okay.
Yeah. This is the second stage of the Satgas, okay? I really do hope that by the end of the year, the national agency for RED Plus or whatever it is, okay, can be start operating. Now we are also preparing the MRV, and that's the what do you call it, the monitoring and reporting and verification unit, okay? If you claim that a number of what do you call it, so many thousands forests are still intact, okay? Then you have to prove it, right? So that's the MRV unit that you're going to prove that. We're preparing the funding instrument. We have a pilot profits. We have a moratorium working group. We have the most important one, well, not the most, but very important, is the reinforcement, legal reinforcement, and legal reform. Legal reform, okay? So whatever you do, it should be based on legal things, okay? You cannot live with the what you call legislation that you have before. You have to have a new legislation, but you cannot just make it like that, okay? You have to have a process of doing that.
And within the legal reform, you have to have enforcement.
Oh yeah.
And you have to tackle long entrenched issues of corruption that also affect logging, as you well know.
That's right.
And I would imagine that you get entrenched people who've been making money off of this for a long time.
Oh yeah.
And stand in your way.
Yeah, that's right. So you wish me luck on that. Okay?
Good luck.
So now we have 8,000 complaints or questions or queries from all around the world, asking what's happening in Aceh with the fire in the Kuala Tripa region. I sent one guy, one of my staff there to Aceh. Okay, so these are the things that we are doing here. we really do hope that by the end of the year, the 10 working group can finalize everything, and by finalizing it, the agency can start. Okay, so that's we are still at the preparation stage, and next year we do hope that the national agency is there, and by having this national agency, then the operational aspect can be focused.
Is the cabinet, is everybody in the government on the same page? Is everyone working in the same direction?
I hope so. Okay, I cannot make an assessment now. Okay, but I really do hope, because they haven't seen the concept, they haven't seen what's what do you call it in the draft, that kind of things. Okay.
So that stuff hasn't gone through ministerial reviews yet. It hasn't.
Yeah. But when it comes to the policy, for sure all ministers are in line with this. Okay, the devil is in the detail, right?
Always.
Once they see the draft, then we'll get any what do you call it comments from them.
Because one of the interesting things that happened, of course, is when the president announced aggressive emissions reduction targets for Indonesia, the country got enormously good press worldwide. But then people start to drill down and say, well, how are you going to meet those targets? And that's where I think people are beginning to ask questions.
That's true.
How are the targets going to be met? It's one
That's
thing
true.
to set the target. It's quite another thing to put in place the mechanisms to
That's
get it
true.
done.
And we are the one to make sure the president's policy can be achieved.
Now you talk about, in your other work, you've talked about de-roadblocking, removing the roadblocks. What are the roadblocks to getting the RED agency established?
Well, the most important one is basically the regulations. Okay. Now, when it comes to forest or things that is closely related to forest, it goes to the Minister of Forestry. Okay. Now you have an agency that deals with also forest, deforestation, reforestation, that kind of things. Okay. Question is, where do you put this agency? Okay. If you live with the old law, then there's no place for a new agency like this. Okay. As I mentioned, now we are entering a new era with new paradigm. Now,
In which
the battle will start.
you need an agency that has the power to take on older agencies.
Not me. Okay, the
Not
president
you.
needs an agency.
The president
okay?
needs an agency. The country
Once
needs an
the
agency.
agency is in place, okay, he
Sure.
will decide who is going to be the chairman of the
But
agency.
this is classic bureaucratic politics,
That's
if you
right.
will,
That's
looking
right.
at competing interests.
That's right. Very democracy, right? So we have to accept that kind of what do you call it, dynamics. Okay.
A lot of long meetings,
Oh yeah.
late into the night.
Interesting. Okay. That's interesting.
Any big announcements coming soon on this, or you think the end of the year is the best horizon we can get
On the Red Plus.
on the agency?
Well, the national street strategy is now in the website for anybody who wants to take a look or give comments. Okay, the One Map program is always also in the website. Okay, so anybody who wants to claim that the map say that there's a forest and actually there's no forest. Okay, that kind of things. Okay, so this is a revolutionary one. Okay? To have a one map. And that map is in the website because everybody can give comments on that.
We're going to have to take a break right there.
Sure.
You're watching Inside Indonesia, brought to you by the Jakarta Globe. Stay with us.